How's it going, everybody? Welcome to week 12 here. Kind of finishing up sort of South Asian, if you wish, religions with Hinduism and Buddhism and a little bit of Jainism in there as well. Just before we get into this week, I want to kind of go back and talk about your drafts. I looked them all over. Good job on the drafts and the peer reviews. Good feedback. Hopefully that was, again, the intention of the draft is just to get ideas on paper, get some concepts going, but then also not only for you, but to see how other people were doing it, to see maybe if there's ideas from other students to help with your final project. So now everyone should be moving along. From here on out, I mean, if you do switch your final project, we're now in the end of the semester. You still have a little bit of time, but I would say, kind of focus on this now and you'd be working on it a little bit between now and May, because it'll come by really quickly in the context of those. I got a little busy with some other things this week, but tomorrow I'm going to sit down. I'll give you sort of personalized feedback on your drafts. Tomorrow, I'll upload those to your post that you did on other discussion peer review groups. So I'll do that tomorrow. But yeah, I guess my overarching ideas are really good. A lot of really interesting topics. But again, to kind of be thinking about narrowing these down. These need to be manageable. There's still some are broad, like I'm going to talk about Jesus, or I'm interested in Buddhism, right? Hopefully, we've been doing Buddhism for 2 weeks now. Maybe there's something within that you can be a little more specified with. But on the other hand of that, some people have some nice, really clear ideas and topics, which is totally great, with good, with very good sources as well. So I think you're on the right track. Again, I'll give you some responses, some more feedback, directed feedback tomorrow. With that said, this week, again, we sort of talked about the history of Buddhism and the concepts of it last week. This week, talked about the spread of Buddhism, particularly through the Silk Road, out of, sort of two different phases of spread from, northern India into Southeast Asia. That can be traced all the way back to the Mauryan Empire, and then through the Silk Road into China and in Japan. So it's kind of the spread of Buddhism. Lectures go into that a little bit more. And then out of that comes a particular type of Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, which has its own little features. The big one there is the bodhisattvas are very important. New ideas of sutras there, the Heart Sutra, Lotus Sutra. And then Chan Buddhism, this idea, which later becomes Zen, sort of this mental discipline factor through koans, through zazen, through meditation. So a little bit of that. So hopefully that all makes sense and is clear. This week we have a quiz. That's the assignment for this week. That will cover what we've discussed in the last 2 weeks, or last 4 weeks actually, of Hinduism and Buddhism, sort of South Asian religions of the world. So the quiz, kind of similar to the first one, there'll be some maps, some matching, fill in the blank, and then also some short responses, things that you got to kind of think about what we've learned for the last 2 weeks. So, and again, in the short responses, make sure to include examples from the course itself, right? Not just, if it's just a bunch of stuff, things we haven't even talked about in this course, I'm just going to assume it's online AI stuff, and I'll just count it as 0. So yeah, make sure that your responses reflect course materials, that you're engaging with that, with how you're talking about that. So I think that's it. If anybody has any questions about the quiz, or when you get my comments back tomorrow, let me know. I'll be happy to talk about those with you. All right, have a great day.